Hey everybody, as a former North American Scrabble champion and one of the top ranked players in the world, I do know a thing or two about Scrabble, but I love seeing Scrabble depicted in the media, whether it's TV, movies, what have you. I made a video like this about a year ago reacting to scenes in TV and movies, but I didn't quite get every scene. So in this video, I'm going to react to 5 more Scrabble scenes from popular TV shows of the last few decades. Let's find out, did these shows nail it? Did they get it totally wrong? Let's dive in.
Why don't you call your product the Vetrx 9000?
Why would I call it that?
I'm just trying to help. I know it's hard for you to come up with a name, what with your poor verbal skills.
There's nothing wrong with my verbal skills. It only seems that way because my math skills are so high.
So that is kind of contrary to expectation. It's a common misconception that if you are good with vocabulary and words, that you will necessarily be a great Scrabble player at the competitive level. Not really the case. You really do see more mathematics backgrounds in the elite level of Scrabble players, which speaks to kind of how it's played at the competitive level. A lot of probability, calculation, geometry, a lot of mathematical skills go into playing high-level Scrabble.
I know what you're doing. Your Scrabble mind games will not work on me.
A lot of trash talking. It's definitely frowned upon in the competitive scene.
Standard Scrabble rules apply. No
We've all
kicking,
been
biting,
there.
or slapping. No projectiles of any kind.
Name calling?
Only on your own turn.
It. Give me 4 big ones, you wrinkled toad. Yes! Yes!
So that is a classic beginner mistake by Dilbert here. I know a lot of people are dead set against using your turn to exchange tiles and scoring 0 points instead of scoring points with a word, but Dilbert needs to exchange tiles here rather than leaving 5 eyes for his next turn and scoring only 4 points. That decision is going to completely cripple him, not just next turn, but almost certainly many turns ahead into the game. You have to exchange now while you can.
It? That's not a word. I challenge.
You challenge it? Give me the dictionary.
Should be in there.
What kind of stupid dictionary is this?
Not a standard.
Webster's?
I think it's the one your company makes.
That would explain it.
Explain it. What's an it?
Quixotic.
So, first of all, Dogbert challenged it, and yet there you see it on the board. Typically, when you lose a challenge in Scrabble, you have to pick your word back up, and you don't get any points for it. I'm not sure what this game is doing for a lost challenge, so that's kind of weird.
That's triple word score plus 50 for using all 7 letters, Q and the X. That's
152 stinking totally lucky points.
Definitely not. That is nowhere near that many points. There's no triple word score involved. This should only be 88 points, which is still a great play by Dilbert's mom, but totally off on the score. Also, note that the positioning of Dilbert's opening move actually changes from one shot of the board to the next. First, he places it with the eye on the center star, but then when his mom gets ready to play Quixotic, it suddenly shifts to the left so that her play actually scores a bunch more points. Kind of weird.
Woo! Woo! Yes! In your face, math boy!
I am so tired of seeing that dance.
Unacceptable.
Quizzing. That's 188.
I'm pretty sure Scrabble only has 1 Z.
Correct. True. True.
That's the kind of thinking that allowed you to lose 400 games in a row.
So, okay, a lot wrong here. First of all, wrong score again. The score for this play, even if the 2 Z's were real, should be 110 points. Dogbert called 188, completely incorrect. But secondly, obviously, Dogbert is brazenly cheating here. That would not be possible using tournament standard equipment, which includes injection molded plastic tiles, not the wooden tiles you use at home. So the reason we do that is so that you can't actually braille the tiles or feel what letter they are as you're drawing them from the bag, but it would also certainly prevent whatever it is that Dogbert is doing here. So my recommendation to Dilbert, get some tournament standard equipment and ditch the mom and dog here. They are really rude, unacceptable behavior from them as playing partners for sure.
Oh, this is great. To just relax with adults. Suffocate. Good for you, Abe.
Very nice.
Crybaby.
I believe that's 2 words, dear.
Okay, then.
Just one.
Just baby.
Okay, so in this episode of Malcolm in the Middle, the family friends of the Wilkersons, Abe and Kitty, are taking out some obvious anger at each other. Abe first playing the extremely stylish Suffocate. At first that looks wrong because it's a 9-letter word, but actually if you look closely, 8 was already on the board. You can also see Abe has an I, so we know his full rack. Technically iffy to the Y of therapy, a little bit better, but we'll let it slide. Contrary to Abe's suggestion, crybaby is a valid Scrabble word there. Nice play by Kitty, but note that something is off. The 3 Ys on the board, there's only 2 Ys in the Scrabble set. And in fact, Suffocate also used a 5th S. There's only 4 S's normally, so I would suggest a thorough check of the tile set here. Looks like a lot of discrepancies, and also maybe pick a different game while you're working through that anger, or better yet, just talk it out before you start up the Scrabble game, or else it's going to get pretty ugly.
What's going on here? Did I get off on the wrong floor? I thought this was an office.
Officer David and I are engaged in a linguistic developmental exercise intended to bolster her English vocabulary.
That's good. You think Gibbs will buy it?
It is not my vocabulary that needs bolsterment, McGee.
Not a word, hence the scoreboard.
No. 50-point cushion for the professor. And there's only 1 tile left to play.
245 to 195. That score feels a little low given the caliber of some of the plays on the board. And in fact, we can use that first look at the board to see that the unplayed tiles are D, A, Q, with Ziva holding the Q, and it's her turn, and that implies McGee has D, A.
It's gonna be kind of tough to play that cue without a U.
You peeked.
Did not. Process of elimination, I counted the tiles on the board.
You suck the fun out of everything, McCheat.
Tracking tiles is standard in tournament play, and a tile like the Q would definitely be one that you'd for sure be paying extra attention to, so Tony is absolutely wrong to suggest that McGee is cheating.
Give it up, Ziva. Qui? I don't think so.
Chi, as in the life energy that flows through all things.
You should have seen that one coming, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No.
True.
62 points.
Jedi wins.
I'm challenging.
You all are. Grab your gear. Playtime's over.
That was a language exercise, boss. We weren't actually playing.
So McGee didn't actually lose.
Correct.
So, he's not actually humiliated.
He is.
Qui.
So, yes, many people are rubbed the wrong way by Chi, but it is a valid Scrabble word, and thankfully, McGee has learned the most valuable word in the game, so that's really going to help him in his Scrabble career going forward, but nicely spotted by Ziva to win the game. This feels like a pretty realistic scene overall between 2 casual players, so well done to NCIS here.
Okay, we're nearing the end with me in the lead, naturally. Followed by Darlene with 137, then Becky with 123, and bringing up the rear, Mark with a personal best of 73.
All right.
It's pretty low. That's pretty low.
Darlene, you're up.
Okay. Ah, I got it. Just put down the Y. Buckety?
It's not a word.
No.
Of course it is. It means of or pertaining to or having the characteristics of a bucket. As in, when Roseanne is angry, her mouth is quite buckety.
Clever, but no.
I'm looking it up.
Here's an interesting bit of trivia for you, David. Milton Bradley was killed by his girlfriend.
Okay, 18 plus the Y on the double letter score is 24.
So this is a clear scoring error. With the shot of the board we get at the start of the scene, Buckety should only score 18 points. And also you could see Woody would score 20 anyway and actually be a valid word, unlike Buckety. So big mistake by Darlene, even bigger mistake by the showrunners of Roseanne, thinking we would not notice that.
You wouldn't give me Twinkie, but you give her Buckety?
Well, fine. You challenge her then.
Yeah, and then I'll go poke Mom with a stick while she's sleeping.
Twinkie would not have been valid.
None of this really matters because I'm going to win.
What's it gonna be this time, Mark? It or is?
Read it and weep, smart guys. Oxygen.
Very nice.
That's X on the triple letter score plus triple word score is 99. Add that onto what he has. My God.
So while Oxygen is a beautiful play by the historically dim-witted Mark, it's nowhere close to 90 points. It's only 57, which doesn't even get him past Darlene, let alone David. So his celebration here is a little premature.
That puts Mark in the lead.
Oh, I won! I finally won! The knowledge in my head is quite buckety. I'm the boss of you. I'm the boss of you. And I've always been the boss of you.
Wait a minute, Mark.
Pretty poor sportsmanship.
Oxygen is not a word.
Even worse sportsmanship.
Yeah, she's right. Oxygen. Good one, that's not a word.
Yeah. It's an abbreviation.
His own brother. His own brother.
Bull, I saw it on air tanks.
Well, yeah, of course. That's because they have to use the abbreviation because the full word wouldn't fit on the air tank. Unless you printed it vertically, which is just against the law.
That's right, Verdes. It's illegal.
Okay.
Boo. Mark should simply have stuck to his guns and required somebody to actually challenge his word with a dictionary, but unfortunately he was bullied out of it. So shame on the other players. When your opponent makes an amazing play, you should show some appreciation no matter who it is or no matter what the game situation. So in this scene from Married with Children, Bud Bundy is given a community service assignment in college to run the Virgin Hotline, which is a service that helps teens withstand the temptation of sex, which is a terrible fit for him because of his general sex-crazed permanent mindset. So, of course, he gets an urgent call from this young woman, Esther, who turns out to be very attractive. Obviously, they end up playing Scrabble to try and take their minds off of how horny they are, but this backfires terribly because, as we know, Scrabble is one of the sexiest games out there.
MELONS. Melons.
I probably want to save that S there.
So, what have you got?
Nothing I can use.
In fact, Bud does have something very good he can use in the form of the bingo hectare, the Greek unit of land measure. What could be more obvious? And given that Esther has just played melons, he should be able to play it down from that S. Except when we look closely, you can see this isn't a standard board. Oddly, my best guess is that this board is actually 9 squares wide by 11 squares tall, so hectare doesn't actually fit anywhere. So, oh well, false alarm.
Hi, honey, I'm home. Is there any way I can repay you?
No, ma'am. No. No, according to the book, we're not
Just
allowed to
doing
take
my
any kind of
job, ma'am.
compensation.
Even if it's these?
So while Bud does end up sleeping with Esther's mom, I could tell you that nothing takes away the pain of having an amazing bingo like Hectare on your rack that just won't fit on the board. So this scene is actually deeply tragic, despite the insensitive hooting and hollering from the studio audience. Well, that does it for our 5 Scrabble scenes from some pretty famous TV shows. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite, whether I missed anything about any of them, or if you have any other suggestions for TV shows or movies with Scrabble scenes that I should cover. So with that, thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, consider dropping me a like or subscribing to my channel. It really helps me out. Catch you later.